These carbs can suffer from plaque and horribly. Now, there's going to be several items of toolage that you're going to need. I'm going to run through some of them now. First of all, the Gibker Phillips screwdriver, the Gibker 10mm Spaniard, the not another company's, that's a Gibker plier, Oral-B Pro Expert. These carbs can suffer from plaque, and Oral-B Oral-B gives your carb the protection that you need. So let's proceed. The Gibker 7mm Spaniard, a flat bladed screwdriver, looks like it's out of a Christmas cracker, but it's actually a Gibker Pro. You know, it really is something special. The Gibker Pro flat blade screwdriver. I know what you're thinking. What the hell's he doing with a carrot? But vitamin C is also important. When you're dealing with these carbs, if they become vitamin deficient, you could have scurviation of the carb, which is something that we don't want. Very serious.
Is that organic or inorganic?
It's an inorganic one. It was actually produced in Wales in a hydromatic thermal plant that had about 8,000 L's in it. 2 Gibkertronic Allen keys. The Gibker Allen screws. We don't know Allen, but we've got his screws. Open spanner. Enough of this wild banter, let's proceed. Something to always remember on these carbs is the mixture screws. If you're not sure what the settings are, just wind them into close. So we're going to wind these in half a turn, another half a turn 1, another half a turn 1.5, another half a turn 2, and that's pretty much come to a stop. So we know that these mixture screws are going to be 2 turns out. Something to remember when you come to rebuild the carb. Otherwise, hell's teeth, who knows what's going to happen. So this part of the carb is the slider. That changes the mixture of the fuel and the air in that chamber. I don't know whether you can see down there, but it's got a groove and a slot. It can only go in one way. Well, you can force it in the wrong way, but it'll either rev its malakas off or it won't run at all. So let's get rid of the choke. Looks very unhappy. Gonna have to get the Gibker Phillips screwdriver on that. Let's get the bowl off and see what delights await us. So, I don't know whether you can see that. The O-ring is coming off. Oh, dearie me. So, yes, our modern fuels have got 10% ethanol, and as we can see, where the fuel has run out, that has deposited all sorts of caper in there. That is not looking good at all. So we're just going to take the fuel switch off, because no doubt that is full of crapola as well. Put them in the Gibker 4200S ultrasonic cleaner. The Gibker ultrasonic cleaner. It's a cleaner and it's ultrasonic. The Gibker ultrasonic cleaner. Available at some point. And I'll be running through its parts, and you know, you can even make one at home. Maybe send us in a picture. By the way, if you're enjoying this video or think it's rubbish, please put some comments down at the bottom, and myself and Jason will
ignore them.
We will ignore them, of course. Yes, that actually looks quite nice, I have to say. I'm not going to take that front cover off because I'm a little bit scared of what's going on there, and I really want to get this running today. So there's an O-ring in there, just in case none of you know. If you put the rubber into an ultrasonic cleaner, it will kill it to death. So don't take your carb apart unless you've got a carb repair kit. Just in case. I mean, that I'm a little bit scared to take it apart. If I didn't have the Gibker-matic flat blade screwdriver, I wouldn't even attempt getting this out, but I have got it. I know it's a quality item. Probably will be available in our shop when we get that running, but that's the O-ring. And even though I've put the other one in there, that was a fool's errand, because the ultrasonic cleaner will absolutely decimate those bits of rubber, so put them to one side. Okay, so snowing indoors and out. So what are we looking at here? The float, and basically that's for the fuel, and there's a little pin inside of there that shuts the fuel off. If someone says to you that carb's flooding, it could well be that the little pin in there is stuck, and as the fuel comes up, it's not shutting it off, so it's just constantly getting fuel and running out all over the place. These items here are the jets, and I have to say they look very unwell, but let's have a look. Let's take it apart. So there's a pivotal pin here that the float pivots off of.
Does it? It pivots?
It's a pivotal moment in this video. I'm removing that pin.
Is that a pivot?
It is. Well, that also is a pivot point, and I'm pointing at the pivot point.
Or could it be a fulcrum?
You can go off, people, can't you? So here we go. Here's the float, and I don't know whether you can see, there's the pin, and it has a small rubber cap on the end that fits absolutely snugly in the bottom of that recess and stops the fuel coming through. Quite often that is actually looking very clean. Excuse my dirty fingers, this carb is extraordinarily filthy. that looks brand new, which is you know, quite a surprise. But it's going in the Gibker ultrasonic cleaner. How do we know that these floats are okay? Well, a lot of the early Hondas had a brass float that was soldered, and you can shake them and you can physically hear if they've fallen apart. Also, they look like they've imploded. This is a plastic one, actually looks intact, but it's a float. The easiest way to check that it's all right is put it in something and it'll either float or it won't. But it's going in the ultrasonic cleaner.
If it floats, does that mean it's a witch?
It could be a witch. It actually could be. What else floats on water, Jay?
Small stones.
Yeah. Gravy.
Gravel.
A witch, a witch.
A dock.
Right, so anyway, back in the room. No, I think that needs calibrating, that. Okay, so let's take the jet out. Oof. Well, I was scared. Actually came out really well, but it's very green. Into the ultrasonic cleaner. The Gibker 7mm Spaniard. The suspenders are killing me. Oh. Right, so, well, it's not blocked. You know, which I've got to say is a bit of a miracle. I was expecting it to be blocked, but it is very corroded. I don't know whether the cameras will pick it up, but all down the length of this jet are small holes down the side. I don't know whether you can see them. They are absolutely tiny. But what happens here is when you open the throttle and the engine is, you want the engine to accelerate, it's asking for more fuel. The fuel is distributed out through the main jet and out through the sides, the fuel air mixture, and that's what gives you that acceleration. These, I can see the very bottom one, I don't know whether it will show up, but you can see through the very bottom one. All the rest of them absolutely clogged with gum. So into the Gibker ultrasonic cleaner. Let's have a look down through that. Yep, doesn't look too bad. There's a lot of gum in there, but there is a hole which is a surprise. Let's take this other jet out. Oof. Okay. So this also has got jets down the side and a main jet through the centre, which I can see is completely blocked. So we might have to take a wire out of a wire brush and physically push that out. Now there's a great school of thought that you shouldn't do that, that it changes the rate or the circulation of the air and the fuel. It's a Honda C90. If it's blocked, I've got to be honest with you, you just need to get that crap out of it by fair means or foul. Obviously you don't want to smash it with a hammer, but a single wire from a wire brush will open up all of those holes, and then where's it going? Into the Gibker ultrasonic cleaner. Yes, so we've pretty much stripped that carb out. We've still got the intake which we can take off. There's a cheeky little air fuel mixture there. There we go. I think that is actually for the tick over, the idle speed. It isn't a jet as such, That just stops the slide running up and down, and you can wind that in and out to increase or decrease your idle speed depending on how you feel about it. Okay, so we're going to take the filter off, and we've got a special tool for this, the Gibker 38S. The Gibker closed and yet open Spaniard in all sizes from 10 up to 19. The Gibker open and closed Spaniard. And obviously this Gibker 3800S is the right tool, and the proof is in the pudding, because there she blows. Oh my giddy arm. I don't know whether you can see that. It looks like a mouse has been nesting in there. Let's get... I can't even begin to wonder how that got in there. But the other way of looking at it is that this part of the carb 100% did its job. Obviously, take the O-ring off. In the bottom of that filter there is a multitude of sins. It looks like a hamster has literally been nesting in there. Maybe it was either that or a Latvian sea llama, which are known to get into the carbs. So there we go, it's more or less cleaned out. So quite a bit of corrosion, quite a bit of rust, frankly quite a bit of shit. So that's going in the ultrasonic cleaner with the rest of the articles. Let's have a look. Filter, will it come out? Will it not? Ooh. Thank you, Jason. There we go. So the filter has absolutely 100% done its job. There's nothing inside it. Everything, and you know, you can see for yourselves, there's a lot of everything has made its way through. This also has an O-ring on it, not for the ultrasonic cleaner, and that will absolutely kill it to death. Let's have a look inside there. Absolutely full of crap. But it was in a shed for 22 years. You know, maybe it had no maintenance before it went into the shed. I really don't know. You know, it was literally a barn find, if you will. No one knows any of the history on it. Could well have the original oil in it from when it was made. That is absolutely corroded to the point of, it might clean up, but that's, so that's not looking
just
good.
Allowing the fuel into the bowl? Literally, yeah. Or is that the, yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah, so it's just allowing it. I think when you dump the throttle, it just allows a massive surge of fuel to that 90 cc's worth of crazy overhead valve engine. So there we go, absolutely encrusted, disgusting. Oh my goodness me. We're going to put that into the ultrasonic cleaner. We're also going to put the body in, so you can see that's where the slide goes. You can see where the needle goes down there, that's open, genuine Honda part. There's another O-ring. Vitally important that you get these out, because they expand, and when it comes to putting it back together again, they just will not go back where they came from. So there you go, that's probably original. Actually doesn't feel too bad, but do not put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. There's a spring in there. Here we go, the Gibker 72 spring extractorator. This also be available in the shop. So there we go, the body of the carb. Going to put it in there with the rest of this, and we're now going to put the Gibker ultrasonic cleaner together and clean this sucker up.
4 minutes, didn't it? Incredible.
Yep. Absolutely unbelievable. This is what we've found to be the best stuff, and it costs £1 in Morrison's. That's £1. £1 in Morrison's. So literally unscrew it.
Pine fresh.
It's lemon scented.
Lemon.
Elbow grease.
There's some horsepower there.
Oh mate, I can feel it. I can feel it doing its work. So basically what we want to do is cover the carb, solvent free. If it's a little bit short, you can give it a jiggle. You can also top it up with water, so don't be shy. Let's get the lid. The lid of the patented Gibker ultrasonic cleaner. And that was from Morrison's, by the way. You'll probably find a Morrison's very close to where you live. Morrison. Okay, so here we are. We've got our DA, and we're going to attach it to our ultrasonic cleaner. How do we do that? How?
I ask. I hear you ask.
I'm going to bloody show you, aren't I? So we're going to have to double that one up. This is not a thing of beauty. If you're at home making this and the wife comes home and catches you, she's not going to escort you into the bedroom out of excitement of what you've been building. She's probably going to call the police, maybe a vet. He's completely gone insane. He's attaching a sander to a Tupperware container.
And I think this is where I should mention that our legal department have made it absolutely clear that we will not be held responsible for any consequences of any viewer following these instructions or partaking of anything of this nature whatsoever.
Indeed. Well, good point, well made, Jason. Anything that happens to you after watching this video is down to you. Electrocution, canker, root canal, it's all down to you, ladies and gentlemen, or should I say Neville, probably the only person watching us in Slough. Got nothing better to do, waiting for his microwave meal to finish. Right, so here we go. Just going to put this round here to secure it. Like I said, you're not going to win any prizes, for beauty. It is purely functional. So there's several schools of thought he made up, complete lie there, about how these operate best. Now at the R&D department we've tried both options, and that is literally standing it on a table. It does seem that the vibration is taken away from the Gibker ultrasonic cleaner if you stand it on something. We have developed the freestanding unit, and this seems to be the best option for what we do. So here we go, get it level-ish.
This is not the carburetor in this video. This may in fact be a cheap Chinese knockoff. It is purely used for representative purposes only and should not be construed as being the end result of using the Gibker 4000 ultrasonic cleaner. All rights reserved. If you like what you've seen, smash that thumbs up, maybe even subscribe. Comment below, good or bad. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching.